Hello. In this video we're going to address a question here from the first worksheet, and the real purpose of this is I want to help you develop what's called the equation of a circle. Now this might take one or two videos, so let's dive in and see where we end up, shall we? So the center of the circle is the point -3, 5, and 313 is a point on the circle. You want to find the radius, the diameter, the area of the circle, and any other point on the circle. So the first thing I'm going to do with this question is I'm going to draw a sketch. Sketches are so important, not always necessary, but when you're first learning, it's really useful because it lets you kind of get an idea of what's going on. Also, if you don't know how to approach a problem, a sketch is a wonderful tool because it gives you some clues as to what to do. So the center, it said, is at -3, 5. So we're going to put this at -3, 5. And it says the point 313 is on this circle. So let's go about there. That looks about right. 313. So if this is the center, the idea is a circle does this, right? Come around. Okay, there's roughly the idea. And the radius of the circle is the length of the line segment that goes from the center to any point on the circle. So since we have a point on the circle, let's draw the radius there and call it r. So the radius calculation for A is simply asking us to find the length of a line segment. But in this case, instead of using d, I'm going to use the actual letter r. So we know that r is equal to the square root of, and now we just take our values and plug them in, 3 minus -3, watch that double negative, plus 13 minus 5, perfect. So this is the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared, which is going to give me the square root of 36 plus 64, and I get really excited now because this is the square root of 100, which is 10. So we know the radius is 10. Well, part B isn't too challenging. If the radius is 10, if r is equal to 10, the diameter d is equal to 20. That's pretty straightforward. So now let's do a C. We know the area of a circle is simply pi r squared, and so therefore the area is going to be pi times 10 squared, which is 100 pi. Now here's an important point I want you to take away from this video. Often what students would do is they take this and plug it into their calculator, which for the most part is understandable. However, unless you have a reason to actually go and simplify this and calculate the exact value, or not the exact, the approximate value, don't. Just leave it as 100 pi. What we want to start getting used to doing is leaving answers that have pi in them in terms of pi, unless there's a reason to change it up. Okay? So now let's look at part D. Now we get a little bit trickier. We want to find any other point on the circle. So what we want to do is we want to come up with a general relationship here. Okay. So I want to find any other point on the circle. So notice, if we go back to the very start, we can use this distance of a line segment, and I know what the radius is of this circle. So let's just pick a point here, and let's just call this point xy. This point can be anywhere on this circle. So we know the distance from the center to this is r. So if I want to find any other point on the circle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 10 is equal to the square root of, and now we're going to say x minus -3 squared plus x minus 5 squared. And so, pardon me, I made a little mistake here. You see it? There it is, y minus 5. So guess what? This is actually the general relationship to represent a circle. However, we typically write it like this. We actually keep the square on that side. This is the equation of a circle. But specifically, this is the equation of a circle with center -3, 5, and radius 10. And it turns out we can extend this to get the general case. So let's do a new type of question here. So the general relationship. So the general relationship for a circle is this. R squared is equal to x minus a squared plus y minus b squared. This is the equation for a circle where radius is r and center is a b. So that's the equation of a circle. So a little quick example question would be, what is the equation of a circle with radius 4 and center, we can just make up a point here, let's say 6, 9. So we take, remember the formula, r squared equals x minus a squared plus y minus b squared. So 4 squared is equal to x minus 6 squared plus y minus 9 squared. And that's the relationship that represents that circle. One last point. I'm not going to write this as 16 because what I find really useful is I can very quickly see what the radius is. The radius is 4, the center is 6, 9. I hope that video helped. And if you have any questions, as always, please let me know and I'll add some more videos to the playlist. Have a great day.